Social media was made for the masses, so it's been dumbed down to the point that anybody can spend money, and it's a great marketing tool for Facebook and Instagram. They make billions of dollars with it, but if someone isn't really adept at what they're doing, it doesn't work well.
Right.
And so
Facebook's system is designed to make it very easy for you to spend money.
It is. It's brilliant. I wish I'd have bought it when it launched and went down 30%. Right. You know, but so they come in, and we actually have kind of an unofficial policy that we don't hire social media people anymore.
Right.
Because they don't. We want intelligent people in the office that we train on how to work inside.
That was a pretty bad burn, man.
About what?
Well, no, it's like we don't hire social media people because we want intelligent people.
We want someone we want someone that we already know smart.
Yeah.
And
we want them to apply that to the social media effort.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey there, guys. It's Nolan and Jason here
Howdy.
For Roofing Webmasters, and today's topic is roofing social media doesn't work for you because you don't work social media properly.
There you go.
So let's talk about it, and I guess I'll kind of start up. This came up as a topic in my head because we had talked to a potential client that was so adamant that social media was no good.
Yeah, he was just hardline social. I have never gotten a sale or a client from social media, is what he said.
So Jason and I never make a house call to go see anybody. In fact, it's
the first time I've ever gone on.
It's the first time
to a client
and
meeting.
For me, I don't remember. Remember. It was so long. But
we do most of our business over the phone. Occasionally, a client drops by, but we generally don't go to anybody's location.
We're having a yes.
Just because they're in different states.
We're having a yes season where we're saying yes to anything. So somebody called and wanted to see us, and I'm like,
they're just down the street. What the heck?
Okay, what the heck? On the car ride over, like, what are we doing? You know,
why are we doing
Why are we doing this? We're web people, damn it. We don't go
We're
see people.
uncomfortable in public.
We are. Anyway, so yeah, we actually do these. You know, guys ask about that too, by the way, on just a side note, that I'm not like, I'm a pretty reclusive individual, but I still do these videos, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's important for business. People want to see us, and it's important for other people's business. And by the way, that'll clue into what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, that feeds directly.
Yeah, so yeah, this gentleman, and as we're sitting there and we're talking about all this stuff, because he starts talking in these grand terms, right?
Very grandiose, very fuzzy pie in the sky.
Fuzzy pie in the sky, and then my brain was having a hard time dealing with the conversation, so I finally just called him out on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, how are you going to have this great domination effort occur if you kick social media to the curb? Now, you hear us talking all the time about search engine optimization and paid advertising and all the stuff on Google, but I don't thumb my nose to Facebook and Instagram.
Hell no.
You know, we will optimize that for roofers, I mean, all day long. And so
some of you watching this probably found it because
social media
of a Facebook boosted post
a
that
boosted
you saw,
post
or Instagram.
Or a video on Facebook or Instagram. I like those two platforms for what we do, and I like them for most roofers as well, you know. So I guess one of the points is most of the social media out there, I'll tell you what, let me back up and talk about all the horrible, bad social media people there are out there. You know, did you know?
I knew where you were going.
All these people that claim to be social media experts that are just kind of dirtbags, in my opinion.
Yeah. They bought an online course in social media marketing. They watched 3 videos and they think they got it down.
Mama let them have a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they're experts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, playing Roblox and as a child and getting on social media before you should have does not mean that.
Yeah, and I actually do all the hiring for the company, and I actually, when I'm looking for new people, if I'm looking for someone who's got social media experience, I will literally get resumes where people have no relevant experience, but they say, I use Facebook a lot, and they think that qualifies them. And I'm not making that up.
It's funny because actually I would argue that, I'm not saying that you know everybody's good at what they do. So if you're a roofer, you're a roofer. But if somebody's on social media all the time, it might actually sound impressive, but it's a joke to us because they have to be able to go in and make ads, do design work, get into the Facebook Ads Manager, And most of these people have never done any of this
Yeah,
stuff.
most of them have none of those skills.
Yeah,
they just know how to post a status.
Boosting a post, that anybody can do. Social media was made for the masses, so it's been dumbed down to the point that anybody can spend money, and it's a great marketing tool for Facebook and Instagram. They make billions of dollars with it, but if someone isn't really adept at what they're doing, it doesn't work well.
Right.
And so
Facebook's system is designed to make it very easy for you to spend money.
it is. It's brilliant. I wish I'd
Yeah.
have bought it when it launched and went down 30%. But so they come in, and we actually have kind of an unofficial policy that we don't hire social media people anymore.
Right.
Because we want intelligent people in the office that we train on how to work inside.
That was a pretty bad burn, man.
About what?
Well, no, it's like we don't hire social media people because we want intelligent
We
people.
want someone we want someone that we already know smart.
Yeah.
That
We want them to apply that to the
Right.
social media effort.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me define it. It is a burn on some of this stuff, but guys, I'm telling them because they know they get hit up by people.
No, I'm not saying you're not correct.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
They get hit up by these people on ads on social media, and they're either trying to do their social media only, or they're trying to run their pay-per-click campaign,
Right.
masquerading as social media.
Right.
And they usually get hosed pretty badly at it. But I'm telling you that those people that even apply to the jobs here are unskilled, and we will go through so many of them, and we've gone through so many of them that we stopped hiring them.
Yeah, that's why we stopped. We had a complete. We sat back and sort of had a come to Jesus meeting and said, how are we doing this wrong? How can we do it different? And we said, okay, we need someone who's skilled in handling the back end of Facebook.
Right.
And then we need to use all of our other skilled people to produce content and do whatever we need for social media.
Right.
And then just use this other person as the person who puts it in the channel.
We personally look at it from like a high-end digital marketing company ad spend effort with details on the ad spend, like the demographics and how the whole account comes out.
Right.
We get paid for that end of it. What the social media people that we were hiring would do in here is the same crud that they do for other people.
Right.
Which was, and I guess I'll say what the one that made me so mad was. We celebrated in here unbeknownst to me, but I was more angry at myself than I was with this individual.
Yeah.
But I was upset because there was a post that went up that celebrated National Creamsicle Day, and it's like the height of ridiculousness.
It was during our busy season.
Yeah.
And a post talk with a few of our staff going to a popsicle shop.
Yeah.
And sucking on popsicles.
Yeah.
And then
You're making me
was
mad.
sent out to roofers, plumbers, and HVAC people.
Yeah.
Across multiple channels.
Guys, I mean, roofers don't celebrate. And guys, y'all don't know me, but like I'm not a roofer, but I'm also not like a purebred web geek. I got up, early on in business doing hard labor work, and I roughed it in business. I did business because I had to, because I didn't have a silver spoon, and so I do have a lot in common with some of the guys. And I can guarantee you, my client base does not celebrate National Creamsicle Day
or know that it exists.
I don't know what the hell a creamsicle is, but it doesn't sound manly to me at all, And it didn't resonate with the audience well. Now, even if it wasn't that far off base, you still don't want to have this, just basic stuff going. Now, that's why we kind of quit doing that level of work for the client, because nobody wants to see the same post go out that goes out to people, and we can't personalize that post for the client.
Right.
I sure as heck don't want to see celebrate Groundhog Day and all these stupid days they have now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not cool. They're not manly at all, and they don't have anything to do with the client base we have. I could care less about it.
Our client base, if we're lucky, simply scrolled past and ignored the post. If we're unlucky, they're like, what the hell are these people doing?
What message does this send?
And they unfollowed, and they got mad.
We took them down.
Oh yeah, we
but and then we corrected that situation.
Yes, we did.
But if you have this stuff going on your website that's not real, that's kind of fake, And by the way, don't
Contrived
stuff. And most of our clients, most of the roofers are, and we have well over 100 roofers around the nation, and they're not people that celebrate these goofy things.
Yeah, they're very, very down to earth, bottom line oriented folks.
And they wouldn't want to do this contrived poser, goofy stuff back out to their client base.
Right.
Now, I don't, and if you're doing something that's not in line with who you are, and that's one of the reasons I think people stop social media, and it's one of the reasons I stopped it once, because I felt like I needed to be like other people. And
you were trying to adopt a persona.
I was trying to adopt a persona that felt more like some thought leader or some guy, and I felt like an ass clown and a poser.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? Because I can't do this. And then I just stopped. I've told people before that I don't wake up in the morning and get on Facebook's Insta story and say, I'm eating oatmeal and about to crush it. We're about to kick butt for you on SEO, and it's going to be awesome. I'm working on my Learjet and and my Bentley, and I'm going to get some whips, and we're going to get some. I just don't do any of that stuff, right? And if I get anywhere close to it, I start feeling kind of like a loser.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being myself. So the point in saying all that to everyone here is that if you'll be yourself on social media, now what you can't do is let someone enter into your office and start doing these basic goofball posts in their own image of what they think it should be like.
Right.
And I'll say this, it wasn't even, that's way too much credit to give to this individual that did it, because it wasn't his or her own image.
It was just they looked on the calendar. This day
was lazy.
Was a goofy holiday.
It was lazy.
And it was just
goofy.
Got to put something up, so I'm going to put this up.
And it was without care and without concern.
Yeah.
It didn't care about us as a company. It didn't care about the people who were going to see it. It was just completing the job and going home.
Yeah, it was fulfilling the requirement for making a post today.
Because if somebody did it in their own image, and you guys, I know you know how hard it is to get someone good employed to do work properly, but in your own office. But if they did it in their own image, at least there would have been some smidgen of greatness on the table.
Of personality or something.
But it had none of that.
Right. It was just like, why is this here?
Yeah, so these posts, so let's move on to the next thing that we talked about with this individual that went so hardcore against us. They probably had some version of this. So, let's put up a post and there you go. Well, I've heard I'm supposed to put them up, so I'm going to put them up.
Yeah, I got to put up something funny. By the way, side note, telling a social media person post something funny on Wednesdays will kill your company.
Yeah.
Because at some point they're going to get desperate and they're going to put something up that offends a whole hell of a lot of people.
Do that? People do funny stuff on a certain day of the week? Is that?
Yeah, sometimes. Or, sometimes it's just a schedule. It's like
How presumptive of someone to think that they are funny all the time, to be able to put up a post, like that.
Yeah. And what's going to happen is that person's going to get desperate because they can't think of something funny that day, and they're going to repost something or reblog or retweet from somewhere else, and it's going to turn out to be connected to something political or religious or any other thing that does not represent you or angers a whole crap load of people, and then you're in trouble.
So we stay away from any protected class or anything that makes people angry, like politics or even sports teams and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a particular market, sure, support your sports team.
Go for it.
But we have a national platform, and we're not going to start, talking about any sports or anything like that, and alienating any portion of the crowd.
Right.
But I do think you could get this guy that we're talking to said, hey, had you ever decided to be part of the social media?
By the way, he was a really slick guy.
He was very slick guy.
With a big personality. He would have been great getting on video.
He was slicker than me. I told him.
He was absolutely.
I don't know, man. Maybe I just see the light better or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, this guy was a pretty slick character. But if you're not willing to be part of social media these days, it's the definition of it. It's a social event, and so if you're not willing to be part of your social media, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to have an active, healthy social presence.
Right.
You'd have to be really large. and have somebody vested in that company that really cared, that was helping with it, and don't use that as a get out of jail and go, oh, we'll have Tom or Sally do it. You know, Tom and Sally probably don't care about the company as much as you and aren't going to resonate with your audience very well.
Right.
And so if you're willing to get involved, and one of the reasons I wanted to bring up some of the behavioral stuff of how I felt, because you don't have to be anyone other than who you are. And if you'll remove all the errors from everything that you think how you should be and people that you like, because there's some guys that I like that I follow for business, and I can't be like them. You know, they're very dynamic and talking in business in a certain way that doesn't fit with me.
Or just like flamboyant.
And shameless. I mean, I don't know. There's a shameless quality, or like a mad dog eye to where they just don't see it or care.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So but just be who you are, but you do need to be a part of your social presence. You can make your people part of your social presence. That was one thing that had irritated me as well, is that this individual had creative ability. In fact, we'd asked them to integrate pictures of the office and people, and it just wasn't done. It was too easy to just put up a goofball post.
Right.
You know,
some stock photo or some weird.
If the whole staff had put on Santa hats and had distributed a photo, I'm actually okay with that. You know, if it was something like that once in a blue moon, but you cannot celebrate every holiday that way.
Celebrating a major holiday is fine.
That's okay. It's like a Christmas card.
There's a big difference between Christmas and National Creamsicle Day.
There's a big difference.
I think we all agree on that.
Anyway, so those are plain posts are bad. No personalizations is bad. No videos is bad. I'll go back to not spending money. Let's talk about that in a minute. No authority and not giving details. So you do some of the stuff. If you're not informative, give information, share details about your industry and market, and what's better about a shingle or worse about a shingle, or what industry trade practices are that you don't partake in, and how and why. You know, authoritative signaling to your audience, building the audience and paying money. I want to talk about. If you're only selling, that's bad. If you're not pushing to the appropriate demographics, which we need to talk about again, that's bad. Likes, demographics, money. Let's talk about that in just, after I do this list.
Okay.
Not personalized enough content on it. Same post everyone else does. All those things are like weak, bad things to do. You do want to have personalized posts. You need to be involved. You need pictures, okay, but lots of video too. And then let's talk about distribution of this stuff. Are you so super fantastic of a roofing company that people are going to tune in? You know, are they going to distribute this? Is it the best ads ever done on Facebook, and the organic distribution is going to go nuts?
No.
Really? So what percentage can they expect to?
Maybe 5%, and we think that's dropping.
That's high.
Yeah. Facebook, we're not on Google today, does not show organically business pages in people's feeds. If someone's come to your business page and they've liked it, even commented and interacted with you, and you make a post that you do not boost, Facebook doesn't show it unless the person that has liked it has nothing else to look at. If that person has no friends, has gone on and has liked a whole bunch of business pages, but has not friended a single individual, then they'll see business. If you've got some weird hermit out in the wilderness who also has a internet connection, and they've done this, maybe they'll see it, but they're the only one. So your posts are going to an audience of none, or at least very small, if you're not boosting and using the ads manager.
So I like to have an audience first off, and when I create the audience, we're looking for roofing companies and roofers and stuff. You know, we're not looking for people. I could care less if they're non-related to those categories. Right. Demographically, I go after all that, and even after my boost increase as the audience increases, and I don't boost to just. I'm careful about who I daisy chain out to, because I know that after the audience gets large enough that it's not going to be effective, and the marketing return won't be there. Right. Basically,
we actually had once upon a time, we had a social media person in our office, and we were pushing out a boosted post one day, and they were given very specific instructions on the audience to use. Go out to this group in the likes with these interests and these job titles, right?
Right.
And this person decided that the audience, that this person had the mindset of a bigger audience is better. But a bigger audience is not better.
Was that the one doing our stuff?
Yeah.
That happened to us one day.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This person decided that they needed a bigger audience. Well, a bigger audience is not better if half the people in that audience have no interest in what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And what they ended up doing was taking a relatively small ad budget that was supposed to be a very tight, focused, one weekend hit and sent it out to an audience of over 10 million people.
Yeah, it was in the millions.
And therefore, essentially, nobody who saw it gave a crap, and the return was zero.
So the difference in Google and Facebook and Instagram is this. Google is the entire world of everybody eventually is going to search. And it's a keyword relevant search, and it's very targeted. When you go onto social media, you're going to develop a group of people that follow you or that like you. And then you're going to nurture that audience, and that much smaller. So Google's everybody, and then you end up with this little group of people that you've nurtured, this community. And these people are going to follow you, like you, and then see these posts. They're going to become referral agents. They're going to be repeat clients. They're going to be little cheerleaders for your business, and they're going to convert at a little higher rate than you would get, or a much higher rate than you'd get off Google.
I was going to say much higher.
Yeah, so Google would be more business typically, but you can't just throw the wide net to the universe of everybody in your market. It's got to be a tight demographic, otherwise it won't return for you. I guarantee you, even if you do all the stuff that we're talking about, and I get a little more specific about the payment and what to go for and how to do it, even if you do all that, if your posts suck, then your roofing social media effort is going to be poor as well. They still won't respond to you because the posts are no good. And so all of the stuff that we talked about early on in this, combined with the fact that you're paying for it. So now you're paying for it, and yes, I've even had this in my own office, and more of these bad people that don't know what they're talking about, don't know what they're doing. You know, it's basic logic for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell somebody can't figure it out, but we get the smartest people in the room to handle this stuff for clients and for ourselves, right?
That's why we changed our whole
I don't let someone just come in and claim they're a social media expert and handle it, because I to this day never found anybody to do it.
Right.
So we do it excellent now because we handle it completely differently. But your money spend needs to be on an extremely tight demographic for your client base. Needs to be, homeowners in your age range in a certain part of town and a certain radius around you, and if that's what you're looking for. Or you could even take it a step further and look for those referral agents and actually go for real estate agents or insurance agents and things like that.
Right.
Those are some other items that can be done. And then I want, even though Facebook doesn't like it anymore, I want likes and I want followers. They don't like it, and I give you my theory of why I think they don't like it. It has to do with moolah, right?
Yeah.
The money. Because if they let me go, just be a dummy and click this button and daisy chain it to whoever the hell we want, which is basically everybody in the world. You know, Sally knows Joe, Joe knows Tom, Tom knows Sue, Sue knows, and it goes on.
You can have a like base of 5,000 people, and if you push an ad out and say them and their likes and friends, then all of a sudden that 5,000 audience becomes a 1 million audience.
It's called and they have stuff called lookalike audiences and stuff like that. I don't dog all of that stuff entirely, but you got to be careful.
You got to be super careful.
You got to be careful with the ad budget and where it goes. So I like to build an audience and then work with that audience so that they know who I am. Otherwise, how am I going to brand to them? Right. And so then that audience sees me regularly, and then I'm an authority on the subject matter because I am. We are the authority, but how would they know that?
Nice. Thanks for throwing me a bone.
Yeah, there you go. What can I do? My head's getting this big over here. Yeah. There are some other people here that help out a little bit. Yeah.
It's all me.
Anyway, I can talk in first person every once in a while. I don't have to be throwing credit out. This new society sucks sometimes. Anyway, got to give credit to everybody. Everybody gets an award. Anyway, so yeah, so you want to, if you didn't come back on, so you spent this time, you spent this effort, and guys, it's not that hard. It sounds difficult, but it's not that difficult. Just nobody ever does it. Social roofing, social media doesn't work for you because you don't work social media properly. Right. Once you actually start working it, and there's all sorts of other things. You know, this is there's a major company called Moz that has to do with a bunch of SEO reporting tools. They have a little graph that shows a pie chart that has about 20% of the pie is social signaling affects your organic ranking.
Right.
So 20%.
Yeah. So just in case you thought this was all about just spending money on Facebook, this also goes back and affects SEO and has a very positive effect.
It affects SEO and everything else does too. This is a pretty big portion of it and can be great. So I'll give you some things to work forward to. So we would like a phone call to help you manage the ad spend. That's what we get, so you don't screw this stuff up. But here's something you could try, is to start with getting 1,000 likes and or followers on Facebook and Instagram, right?
Right.
Very tight demographics, that they're homeowners or referral agents in your market. And then work on getting those first with some boosted ads. And then that boosted ad can throttle down, but it never stops being boosted to get more likes and followers forever.
Yeah, we have something like that running ourselves.
We never stopped it.
At a low level of spend, but it's essentially running permanently.
I used to spend more,
a
lot more, and back in the day when we got them for nothing.
Yeah,
so
they used to be so cheap.
It was like 32 cents or 28 cents.
Yeah, it was absolutely nothing.
Is what they would cost us. Now they cost more, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, if you can't cry over the spilt milk of the deal. So get 1,000 up, and once the 1,000 are obtained, then begin to slowly begin to boost out a video or picture or something to them that's relevant and real and defines who you are as a person and who you are as a business. No airs, no bull, no junk, no filler, no crud. Right.
What you see when we're sitting here talking looks pretty much like he and I having a meeting about something in our office. We just look at the camera sometimes. Yeah. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And we cuss a lot more if there's no camera on.
Do we? Try not to. I've got children, man. As your kid gets older.
I do too. I've been trying, but it's hard to break bad habits.
I'm pretty clean these days, actually. I'm a Boy Scout. You get too old. Anyway. I plead the fifth on all that stuff.
And just we say this a lot. We say that we try to do for our clients what we do for ourselves. But what we're doing, what you're seeing us do right now, we've been trying to get our clients to do. We've been telling them, get your phone out, shoot something like this, send it to us. We'll chop it up, put it out through multiple channels, manage it for you, do ads.
Yeah, we will. So
it's working for us, so that means we can make it work for you.
We have a little cheap camera up here, and it's not an expensive one, but if you want to throw your phone up on a tripod and point it at yourself.
Yeah, frankly, the camera in this is probably better than the camera we use for this.
Yeah, so you can throw it up. You don't even have to have a lapel mic if you're close enough to it. If you want to do a video, you send it to us. You can, and we'll give you a podcast. We'll cut it for all the different social channels, which it has to be redone and re-edited. We'll do thumbnails and lower thirds and your phone number and all that stuff, and do YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I mean we'll do your website, we'll do a transcript, we'll optimize content, we'll blow it out and then give it to you, and we'll boost it for you to the demographic.
Yeah, this is like everything else. When we find something that works, our next step after we figure out how to make it work right is to do it for you guys.
Push it to the audience. Yeah, push it to the client base. And so less people are going to want to do this because they have to get involved. Yeah. We actually will do a podcast for roofers for you, because I know I'm not a roofer, so I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear any hateful comments about it or anything. But I've walked roofs. I know lingo. We can talk about, for example, we could do a podcast about how great roof coatings are, how it's a seamless membrane that can be better if installed properly with proper roofing processes. We can go into detail about acrylic coatings or urethane modified acrylic or silicone, whatever you like the best. and we can talk about the types of applications where it can save businesses money.
He's the roofiest guy that's never put a roof on.
Yes. Well, I'm actually, I'm certified to actually install
Yeah, you're actually
roof
certified to
coatings,
install roof
PVC,
coatings.
TPO, and foam.
Yeah.
But I got we you know the roof the foam mixes as it leaves the gun, not in the gun. You remember that?
Yeah,
remember that guy? But yeah, and foam. I heard somebody say one time foam was the only product that you manufacture on the spot, but I kind of disagree, because if you do a full fabric underlayment on a coating, you basically built a single ply in place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you built the roof on the spot.
which is one of the reasons it's less expensive, because you are kind of instead of buying the material, you're making the material up there, so it comes
Right,
in a liquid form, and then you spray it on, and if you put a full fabric underlayment, you made a single ply. But yeah, we
See what I'm
can.
talking about?
We can get into. We could do a podcast for you on stuff and be the face of your company if you wanted us to do it, or we could do the distribution for you.
Yeah, we recommend that you guys do it, but if you're not comfortable with that, or you don't have time, because we hear that a lot, we'll be the guys in front of the camera too.
Yeah, we'll do any of it. But so that little example, get 1,000 before you begin to try to boost much, then get that 1,000 down. If there's a special situation, you can boost beyond your like base and followers if you want to try it first. I think is a more effective way to boost them, and then it doesn't cost much money to do 1,000 and then to slowly ride into it. I've actually done it myself to where I think we have like 12,000 likes and maybe followers and stuff.
That sounds
maybe
about right,
maybe
yeah.
more, maybe 14,000. But I've actually mismanaged my own social media before we got really good at doing this, to where it became non-effective entirely.
Yeah.
And so just junk going out. I'll never do it again, and I'll never take on a client's roofing campaign unless it's done properly with intent for return on it.
Right.
And if it can't be done that way, we won't.
Like an example of what you're talking about of a special situation is if you're in an area and you get a big storm, hailstorm, tornado,
that was
something.
what I was thinking.
Then you could go in to Facebook and you say, homeowners in this area radius, because you're going to get people that have a damaged roof.
Or you got a 100 square roof for coating, and you were pretty proud of it, and you went up there and took a little video shot of it and showed other businesses in the area, or
Right.
business owners, what you did. Stuff like that. You could go through and try to pick up some extra business for.
Yeah.
Drone shots, things like that. We can even add that to your social campaigns. If you call us, we can do stuff like that too. But those are personalized and kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, people will follow a roofer, which they don't think so, but on social media, you can actually get a following for different roofing related stuff, because there's people that have interest in building trades. There's other people that are interested because they might need them, like a real estate agent or an insurance agent.
Right.
And so there's people that want to follow you that actually will follow. And even if you get like industry people watching you because you're really authoritative and do things on there, it will actually help your overall online web presence. The signaling to Google will actually make you money.
Right.
So I think that's good.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That was a good one. We look forward to hearing from you.
Take it easy.
SEO or social media for roofers, we can handle it. Talk to you later.